I just want to return very quickly to this thing about words and expression and the relationship between the length of an expression and the number of words in a particular vocabulary. Yeah, I think that's right. And I've been thinking about it in comparison to mathematics and mathematical notation, numerical notation. Because I think there's a similar kind of relationship there. It's similar, not exactly the same, of course. Because if you get a number in, let's say, base 10 decimal notation, like 9, the number 9 in decimal has a single character, that's that number 9. That same number expressed in binary is 1001, so that's got 4 characters in it, so the length of your expression is 4 times longer. And in another base, something like base 4, which I've been learning recently for some reason, it's got 2 characters. It's 1-4 in I guess you'd call it quaternary. So the greater the base number of your that you're working with, potentially the smaller the shorter the expression for the number you're working with. And I'm just thinking, does the same thing apply to language? Assuming that all languages, restricted languages and extended languages, assuming that they're all equally expressible, that there's nothing that can be expressed in an extended vocabulary that can't be expressed in a restricted vocabulary. I'm making that assumption, and that assumption is based on the combinatorial power of language, that even restricted vocabularies are capable of combining in ways which carve the world up in the same ways. It just takes a bit longer to say that thing. And I think that kind of similar relationship applies there in language as it does to number. An infinitely great, a vocabulary that is infinitely great would obviously be able to express any concept in a single character, or almost infinitely great. If the number of characters in a number of words in a language was obviously the same as the number of possible expressions, so every atom in the world had its own name, every combination of atoms in it had its own name, every leaf on a tree had its own name. I think it's hypothetical, but if you can imagine that, then it would be possible to express everything in a single word. And if you took that to infinity, well, I don't know where that would go. I think it would, yeah, who knows. Conversely, as you restrict the vocabulary, the smaller the number of words become, the longer that expression. So you would need longer and longer sentences to say this. What in a more extended vocabulary could be said in a short number of words, or possibly in a single word. And again, it's taken to its ultimate extension, like a language like binary or unitary, a number that's only got a single character. If you had an ultimately restricted language, you could still say anything, but it would take an infinite number of words to say that anything.